MrBeast was simply meant to become one of the greatest and biggest YouTubers we've ever seen. Yo, Miss Toimo, my name is Rayo, and do you remember that one kid in high school who was so obsessed about this one specific thing, and that was the thing he always talked about all day, every day, until the end of times, basically? Well, I'm here to let you know that the same kid was Jimmy, aka MrBeast, in high school. So I have watched MrBeast's videos since the whole PewDiePie versus T-Series thing, and throughout this time he's been a huge inspiration to me, so I've decided to take some time and become obsessed with him and trying to figure out exactly what makes MrBeast as successful as he is right now, so I could implement some of this stuff to myself. And what I discovered was shocking. By the end of my research, I made the conclusion that MrBeast was simply meant to become one of the greatest and biggest YouTubers we've ever seen. His dedication and obsession with the YouTube platform is on a whole another level compared to the rest of us. But that doesn't mean this journey has been easy for him. In fact, on the 4th of January in 2015, when he had only about 1800 subscribers on his channel, he had been creating non-stop content for 3 years without any success when he finally broke. He realized that nobody cared about his channel, and since YouTube was already back then really oversaturated with different content creators, he decided that he just had no chance. And so MrBeast was completely burnt out and he actually quit YouTube. I know, right? It's totally insane that MrBeast actually quit YouTube and there was a chance that he would never come back to YouTube. I mean, just think how different everything would have been. 4 weeks later though, when MrBeast logged on his YouTube channel to just listen to some music, he noticed a handful of comments and notifications from his subscribers telling him to continue uploading YouTube videos. That's when MrBeast regained his hope and immediately started on his mission again to become famous on YouTube. In fact, he was now so obsessed about YouTube that he reinvested everything he earned from his YouTube channel back into making better and more epic videos.
I'm going to give a random homeless guy $10,000
giving
today.
multiple homeless people $1,000 each.
We're just gonna drop a random $30,000 donation on him.
When MrBeast had $40,000 in the bank from YouTube videos, then he actually got into a really big fight with his mom because he wanted to spend $45,000 on his next video. And well, you can't blame his mom because that's a pretty appropriate response when your son says that he wants to spend tens of thousands of dollars on a single YouTube video. Obviously nowadays MrBeast spends hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars on a single video.
I just bought that private island.
But back then he was just starting to get his first taste of success. Taking such risks and investing everything back into the channel perfectly shows how committed he was to becoming YouTube famous. Talking about commitment, the way he comes up with all his best video ideas is something that I was really surprised to learn, and I think this is something we should all implement in our lives somehow. MrBeast says, and I think it makes perfect sense, that it is much more effective to come up with one really good idea that gets 100,000 views over the course, for example, 4 weeks, than to make a bunch of mediocre videos that combined get 100,000 views over the course of 4 weeks. By doing what MrBeast does and going for these really good video ideas rather than just making content just for the sake of making it, you're not just saving a ton of time that could then be put into coming up with another really good video idea, but also your channel will be taken a lot more seriously as well. So the way MrBeast comes up with his video ideas that are basically guaranteed to hit the trending tab is actually quite simple. All he does is he spends 1 hour every day to come up with new video ideas.
Brainstorm an hour a day minimum, things like that.
That's pretty simple. But the logic behind this says that by spending 1 hour every day with trying to come up with new and innovative ideas, you're actually creating more and more neural connections in your brain that help you come up with more creative and innovative ideas. So the more time you're putting into trying to come up with new ideas, the better ideas you're gonna generate. This pretty much means that you can eventually teach yourself to come up with new viral content all the time. How I implemented this tip into my own life is that I'm now trying to come up with 10 new YouTube video ideas every day, and while I'm pretty sure that 90% of those ideas are gonna suck, then I'm hoping that by the end of the month I will still have about 10 to 15 really good video ideas that I can then turn into actual videos. Another thing Mr. Beast says, and I really do agree with him here, and it is that the viewers are not stupid. The viewers can always tell when you half-ass a clip or a video. But they can also tell if you really put in the effort and go the extra mile, and the viewer is gonna appreciate that a lot. I'm hoping that you appreciate the amount of effort I put into this video as well. If you do, then make sure to click the like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe if you haven't yet. Anyways, in fact, Mr. Beast understands his audience so well that he's easily willing to spend, let's say, 10 hours for a 15-second clip when, in his opinion, it would raise the value of a video. As a content creator, I know how tempting it is to just cut corners somewhere and just get the video over with so you can start your next project, but I do think this makes a huge difference, and obviously I'm guilty of cutting corners myself, so I'm gonna put more focus on this as well. The reason Mr. Beast was always meant to be a YouTube success is that he's always focused on the positive side of YouTube. Mr. Beast has never been involved in any of the YouTube drama because to him, it's just all meaningless. Everybody makes mistakes, nobody's content or personality is perfect, and all he wants to do is just continue improving his YouTube videos, so that's where he puts all his focus on. Mr. Beast is simply one of the most humble, down-to-earth YouTube personalities who just loves playing the game for the sake of playing it. He doesn't care about winning, he doesn't care about the competition. He just wants to play the game, and that's what makes him so successful. Even if you're not a content creator yourself, then I hope you learned something from this video. Thank you so much for watching. Take a look at the graph. It looks really depressing right now, so please subscribe. It's free and you can always unsubscribe. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one. GG.